Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session. Today, we are going to talk about Ninja selling. This is not an installation. Ninja installation is a 3 or 4 day event. And it is pretty intense. It's all day. They just did one this year, kind of like in the beginning of the springtime, which wasn't very good timing. I know a lot of people are kind of already busy but we did have a few people from this office actually go and do the installation. It was in Bellevue. I think the cost was like $1,100 for the 3 days. But every single person that went to it said it was incredible, gave them a completely different idea and really a better way to do business. Because it really changes the way that you interact not only with your sphere and your clients, but also kind of like really changes your mind, the way that you even think about this business and the way that you work. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of ask you guys, has anyone heard of Ninja before? And what have you heard about it? Go ahead, we'll open it up. And we're not talking about ninjutsu. This is just a selling focus technique. Anybody? Zoom people, you want to unmute? Anybody? Nobody. All right. So
Yeah,
everyone...
I've heard of it. I've read the books and stuff, Eric.
So. Oh, you have. So you've read the book.
Yep.
Awesome.
I actually used their Ninja book, their planner. I use that as kind of my calendar and everything. I really like it.
Okay. So. Yeah. No, I can see how that would make sense to use. It's a nice layout and makes it very simple.
Right. And the lists, your weekly calls and stuff like that. It helps with that for me.
Yep. So there's two parts to doing this business, right? One is doing the business, and two is generating the business. What's easier? Doing. It's always doing. When you're like, oh, I've got the deal, I'm working it already. That's always the thing where people can relate to this and they understand, like, okay, I've got business, I'm working it. This is great. Generating the business is always the struggle. That's always the piece that we as brokers get out of habit. It always happens. And it's either one of two ways. It's either you start out, you don't have any business and you're trying to generating it. You get the business, and then the focus falls because you're actively doing the business and no more generating. The secret to this business is the generating. But that's the part that you just have to continually do no matter what. So a plan to generate referrals is to focus on who you know. It's always about who you know. No matter what questionnaire or survey NAR does, right? All of them always constantly say that where most brokers' business come from is from a referral. Why is that?
I think that.
Why do you think that happens that way?
Want to do business with people that don't like interest.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to that generic saying we've heard since day one. You get in the business is the fact that people, they want to work with others, right? They want to work with other people that they know, like, and trust. First of all, let's break down know, like, and trust. How do they know you? How do you get to know someone? It's pretty easy. How do you get to know someone?
You gotta talk to them.
Talk, you communicate, right? It's kind of the basis, this is all the basis of a relationship. How, like, I mean, anybody who's married or has a spouse, can you have a significant other, if you can imagine, like, you don't talk to them? I mean, you just kind of show, once in a while, just kind of, the relationship's not gonna be very strong, is it? There has to be engagement, that constant engagement. How do you get people to like you? There's books on this, right? I don't know, there's usually when people like someone else, it's about, there's commonalities there, like you guys might like the same events or sports or activities or music, or, it could be anything, golf, it really doesn't matter. You constantly hear this thing too, like Tom Perry mentions it all the time, like find your tribe. Find the people that likes the same stuff that you like, right? And then be active. And the last one is trust. When you're dealing with business, how do you gain trust? How is trust established?
You build relationships with your clients, checking in on them. Hey, how are you? How's the dog? How's the kid? A special event, remembering things. You earn
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Out of all those three things, the trust is the one part that must be earned, right? It just does not, you don't just get it because you meet someone. The plan to generate more referrals is to utilize your database. And you guys can write these down. No, we're just kind of just talking, but you can write these 5 down because this is how you're gonna generate referrals. One is a database. Okay, if you do not have a database yet, or it's not organized and completely dialed in, that is gonna be a piece where you're lacking. You don't have that piece to connect to the trust, right? You need to know this information as part of your trust foundation. It's really what it is. Ninja always says to live in flow. Living in flow means the second most important thing you're going to be doing is face to face and on the phone. That's it. You got to get face to face with people in that database and on the phone. You cannot rely on technology to replace that. AI is never going to replace that. Do people know, like, and trust any artificial intelligence? Will they ever?
Some point.
Very few.
Well, I mean, some of the AI, bots out there are already like turning against us. Have you heard some of these stories? Yeah, it's scary. It's just not gonna happen. If your business is lacking, guaranteed, the first 2 items, this is where you're missing the mark. You're not getting face to face and voice to voice to enough people inside of your database. Now, you could be brand new, just getting into the business, and you can start out these things, right? And it could be easy because you're like, oh yeah, you're just starting out. For people who've been in business longer, it could be harder because you're like, some of these people I haven't talked to in years. I say get over it. It doesn't really matter. You can challenge yourself to go through and just communicate and see what happens. It's better than what's already happening right now. right? Next thing is 3 is auto flow. What Ninja calls auto flow is mail and email. So mail and email is important, but as soon as the mail and email is outpacing your live flow, the face-to-face and on the phone, you're not doing it right. You're the spider waiting in the web for for the fly to land in your web. It's just, it doesn't work. I mean, you might get lucky, right? You might get lucky. Maybe you got the housing updates. You guys hear us all the time say, yeah, use the John L. Scott housing updates. They're amazing. They work great. They actually do. It's relevant real estate information that goes out once a month to your database, which is important. But that again is auto flow only. That's just, I like to call that the cherry on top business. It just happens, right? Because yes, you're not going to get a hold of everybody. You're not going to get a chance maybe to get face-to-face to everybody, but it is important. It is a piece. Next is to build their database, get ideas. So when you're filling out your entire database, what's important is them, their birthdays, their home sale anniversary. Those 2 items you should have in every single one of your contacts. And again, I don't care what CRM system you're using. The one you use is the right one. I don't care whatever one you say, everyone's like, this one's better than this one does this one does. None of them, including John L. Scott's Engage, right? Salesforce, none of them do it all. It is never gonna be perfect. Want to know why? Why is it never gonna be perfect? Sounds pretty easy, right?
Still got to do the work.
Yeah. Honestly, what the answer is that every single person has their own idea of what is customer relationship management and how they want to use it. So it's never going to be one size fits all. Never. So don't get hung up on it. What I tell people all the time, you know what? As soon as you get licensed, it seems like everybody's hands in your wallet or purse. Am I right? It's like the day you get licensed, you get phone calls from lenders, from all these people, and it's like they're just trying to sell you leads and sell you anything. And seriously, when we struggle in sales, the problem is here. And you're trying to go forward. You see these shiny things that pop up and say, hey, this is going to work for you. Spend your money and go this way. It just doesn't make sense. And it is completely unnecessary. I would say exhaust and try your stuff that you get for what you're paying for your technology fee anyway. Like, don't spend money. It's just, I don't know, it's just really doesn't make sense. Even if you don't like Engage, use your Outlook. Outlook is a CRM. It's just Microsoft Outlook. You use the calendar. It's got contacts. It has dates. It has reminders. It has notes. You can even use that.
Simplest things work.
Yeah, it really does. All right. Number 5, and this is the other one. 4 is build your database with the ideas. Nope, that's auto flow. Mail and email is
Okay,
3.
so I'm missing number 2 then, I guess.
2 is live flow, face to face and on the phone.
Okay,
And number 1 is database.
so I thought it was kind of the same thing. I mean, database, and then I didn't put that as auto flow as number.
Yeah, live flow is 2. That's face to
Got
face
it.
and on the
I got
phone.
Everything, I just didn't get the numbers.
Number 3, auto flow, mail and email. And number 4 is build database with ideas. You need to be able to keep adding to the database. right? That's really the main thing. They say on average 10%, they say 7 to 10% each year of your database will move. So if you have 100 people, right? 100 people in your database, 7 to 10 of them each year is going to move. But the way our market has been in almost now coming, it's going to be going on to 3 years, right? We've had more of a downturn market because of inflation and the super high interest rates. So people are kind of locked into their homes. Buyers aren't moving as much, things aren't happening as often. And that actually lowers your percentage to only 3 to 5. So you're talking half of the normal. If you only kept your 100 people in your database and you're only doing 3 to 5 deals each year, and that's the only sphere you have, you're only going to do that many sales, right? On average. So that really means you have to continually adding more and more people into your database. And the best way to get more people, the 2 best ways is from your database already. Who do you know, right? You either ask for it or inquire or come up with a plan for either referral bonuses or giveaway trips or whatever you do for all the people who send you referrals. There's many different ways you can do it, or open houses. That's the 2 fastest way to get more people in your database. So that's an overview of number 4. Number 5 is to stay in touch after the transaction. This one thing is where we definitely fail the most, right? 88% of our clients say they would use us again to buy or sell in the future, but only 12% of people actually do. It's because they forget your name. And how many months? How many months do people forget your name? It's 6 months. Good job, Dave. Yeah, 6 months they forget your name. They loved you. They're like, can't believe we got into this home. We love it. This has been amazing. Oh, what was their name? They helped us. Just forget. Life happens, right? So we're gonna watch a quick video. All right.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to be talking about the Ninja 9 and setting yourself up for success with a very powerful daily and weekly routine as directed by the experts at Ninja.
Totally, and I am about to pull up the Ninja 9 so we can show it on the screen, but my computer crashed inadvertently. Okay, ready to go, Jordan. So let's talk really quick about the Ninja 9. Ninja 9 is the 9 habits for success in giving the business. So here's the deal. Number 1, we're just going to go through I'll just shout them out really quickly here, and then we'll go through them individually. I'll zoom in a little bit here. But we have number 1, daily gratitudes. Number 2, show up. Number 3, write 2 personal notes. Number 4, focus on my hot list daily. Number 5, focus on my warm list daily. Number 6, focus on my customer service calls weekly. Number 7, schedule 2 real estate reviews this week. 8, schedule 50 live contacts this week. And number 9, review my database for property matches weekly and with my newsletter monthly. So that's the Ninja 9. And the reason we're talking about this today is because we know most realtors need a plan. They need a plan to say, you know what am I doing today that's actually going to move the needle? And one of the things I've heard some people say is it's like, I've talked to everybody in my database and they're not making a move right now. And it's like, well, the numbers are still 1 in 10 or 1 in whatever it is this year, people are going to make a move. Remember, sales are only down like 14% year over year. They're not down 100%. And the other thing is that it's not necessarily like Chloe mentioned in the first segment there. It's not who you're talking to, it's the people that they know as well. And that's why you want to keep in touch with these people. So the most important thing that you can be doing in your business is consistent activity. And I know that if the market slows, you can lose that motivation, lose that desire, but it is ever more important to go ahead and do this. So Kirsten, why don't you kick us off with the first one and just talk about the power of gratitudes?
Sure. So you will have all noticed that consistently for many years now, we start our morning meetings talking about a gratitude. And the power of a gratitude, and I love how, you mentioned if you focus on everything that's brown, that everything is going to be brown. Starting off with a daily gratitude puts you in the right frame of mind to say, I'm going to start my day being thankful for something and being very positive in my mindset. And by doing that, you're not focusing on all of the brown or all of the bad or the lack of in your life. You're focusing on abundance, which is a very big ninja term. And if you focus on abundance and the things that you have and the things that you're grateful for, typically those are the things in your life that will continue to grow. So when you wake up in the morning, if it's something you say in your mind or you say out loud or you write down somewhere, just make sure you're starting off with an attitude of gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want to add to that just from the standpoint that totally lost my train of thought.
That's okay. You can go on to number two.
I got it really quickly.
That's okay.
I am not an emotional, I'm gonna say the word airy fairy, but I don't mean it that way. I'm not that guy that's just like, oh, the universe will bring me good things and stuff like that. I'm like, I need to be in the right mindset. I need to be in the right mindset for this. I need to be positive, and I need to go through, and I need to look at the world through that lens, because there is so much. And I know that I just frankly feel better when I'm come from an attitude of gratitude.
Especially in this market, it's easy to wake up and not know where to start and not know what to do and just get in that negative pattern. My husband and I started doing this a couple of years ago. We'd start our day just saying something nice to each other.
Yeah.
And it really turned things around for us. And it's just a really nice way to just start your day, right? Just start off in that positive mindset.
That's
You guys
really
should.
nice. Yeah, we should try it. What would we say?
Don't shit all over your friends. That's what we would say.
That's our new thing right now.
Don't shit all over me.
Wow.
Here's what you should do. It is absolutely great. Chloe, why don't you talk about showing up?
Show up. Okay, stop opening your emails like the moment you wake up. I love that, I have to say. So when my daughter was born 2 years ago, I had to really make a change in my life because probably like a lot of you guys, real estate starts the moment you wake up and it stops the moment you go to sleep. And it doesn't actually stop when you go to sleep, it keeps going. But I found, just giving myself that hour to get out of the whirlwind. If you guys, I don't know if you guys talk about the 4 disciplines of execution at all ever.
Yeah.
We haven't much.
Okay, so anyways, it's a book. Getting out of that whirlwind and giving yourself that good start to the day and getting any of that, the big pressing items off your to-do list early before you get into the crazy of the day. Show up. Yeah, I love that.
And
it's important.
If you were to look at, excuse me, if you were to just look at time management, there's only one time management principle you need, and that is time blocking.
Yeah.
Like that is it. It's just like you're put in this block of time after you get your kids out the door, get them ready to rock, whatever it happens to be, but still in the morning, because you can't hold back the whirlwind like Chloe was talking about in the afternoon. So in the morning, you take that hour and a half, whatever you're doing, 2 hours, and that is where you work on your business. That is where you're doing your Ninja 9, you're doing your business generation, you're doing the most important activities, because the rest of the day you can go for crap, and you know that you will have finished the most important items in your business. And that is it. Anything you want to get done, you just put a time block in, and that's what you focus on.
Yeah, nice. Next one is 2 personal notes. So we have, if anybody needs note cards, relatively affordable note cards compared to buying them yourselves. We have really nice note cards in all of our storage rooms in our offices, and you can order them and the receptionist will put them aside. If you are in one of our non-Calgary offices, we will send them to you if you order them. And the reason that we started creating these note cards is because of the importance of writing 2 personal notes every single day. So the nice thing about personal notes is, one, it's a great way to just keep in touch with people in general. And most people, every day when we get our mail, it's like the worst. It's 90% flyers.
Totally.
It's spam from your cable company, right? Like if you see a person, like if we see a note,
it just lights you up.
It's crazy how much you love receiving a note card. And it matters so much. We show each other it. It's just lovely, and it doesn't have to be about anything specific. I mean, if you want it to be, holiday or birthday, anything related, that can be one of them. But the other thing can just be, hey, was thinking about you this week. Know your kids went back to school. You're probably pretty busy right now. Hope everything's going well. Just wanted to say hi. Short, sweet. I know that some people have I've had some phone calls with people being like, well, I just don't know what to put in a note card. And some people feel like they need to write a letter, right? Like a full-on letter, and then it makes you not want to do this. Some of the note cards that I've received in the past from past ninjas, current practicing ninjas, are literally a name, 2 sentences. That's it. Just something kind, acknowledging something that I maybe did or said. Facebook is a really good place to get ideas. If you're on Facebook, you can see that somebody maybe just had a baby or got engaged or their mom passed away. Just something, thinking of you during this time period, note cards out.
Yeah.
And do 2 a day. And that adds up pretty quick.
3 messages, thinking of you, congratulations, and thank you. And those 2, but you can also do birthdays and stuff like that. But if you do think of those 3, then it becomes a lot easier. And again, I always look at Facebook as a way for commenting on Facebook. And it's like people, when they post up a post, they want nothing more in the entire world than people to engage and comment. So
true.
give them what they want. And when you write a personal note to somebody, you know it's going to light them up. This person will, if they like you, 7 out of 10 right now, you send them a personal handwritten note, it goes to 9.5 out of 10 instantly.
Totally.
Like it's so powerful.
Okay, let's move on to number 4. Chloe, why don't you take this one, focusing on your hot list daily?
This one comes pretty natural, I think, for most people, because these are the people that want to buy a house or sell a house in the very, very near future that you can do a deal with right away. So for most people, this is like what happens before you show up. This is, you wake up and want to talk to them immediately, because this is how we pay our mortgages.
Yes.
But yeah, you do, in the time blocking space that you do want to spend some time with your hot list, obviously.
Yeah, good. Okay, Lindsay, focusing on your warm list daily.
Yeah, no, and so speaking to that, this is the foundation of everything. The warm list and the hot list. It really is, because you need to have a very, very full warm list. And Jordan, if you could just go to my screen for a second here. So online in the business tracking forms under professional development documents, we have this business tracking grid, and I'm zoomed in here a lot so you guys can see it online. But we have 5 different buckets here, and we have, 4 different buckets. But we have our warm list first of all, and then what happens is that you take someone whose name's on the warm list, and we'll talk about that in a second. Then they move over to the hot list. Then they move to under contract, and then they have the closed files. And we've talked about this before from the standpoint that you can actually predict your future income by moving that forward.
Does that go right to left?
Yeah, so you start on the right and then you move more to the left. So there's different versions of it that go either way. So, yeah. So here's what you want to think about is, well, who would be on the warm list? Well, the warm list are anybody who might be having a change in their life. So this is somebody who maybe they had a baby, maybe they are pregnant, or they just got married, or they're thinking of getting married, or they're getting divorced, or they are downsizing or upsizing, their kids just moved out.
I read a blog article that said that more people are moving because they got a dog than because they got a baby.
They got a dog.
Like people will cram their life to have a baby in their house more so than they would rather their baby be crowded than their dog be crowded. You did that too?
I did that.
Yeah.
We did that too. We got a house because we got a dog. But just as something that you probably don't think of being a point of change. That's
Silly, but
So here's the deal. So when you go through your database and you
Expensive
think
dog.
about it, and literally you think about every person in their life, you're on Facebook, you mark down on your warm list who may be having a lifestyle change. When you're talking to people, who has a lifestyle change, and then those are the people you're going to want to make sure you keep in touch with on a regular basis, because they might not know it yet, but you know that there are a higher probability that they're going to need a real estate or be having a real estate transaction coming up.
and you can listen for these cues when you're doing your real estate reviews. So when you're sitting down with people every year, you get to hear all about what's going on in their life. And
Once you talk about it, and we'll jump back to customer service calls, but talk about the real estate reviews.
which is number 7.
okay, jumping to number 7, real estate reviews. This is basically you sitting down with your database and your A and B people probably that are in your database, and just going through and being a good human being that they can connect with about their real estate needs. So what I would do at these is I would update them on what their value of their property is now. That's not the easiest conversation in this market, because obviously we've had some decreasing values. But at the same time, it does build trust because you are going to be their person that they're going to want to talk to when they want to know anything to do with real estate.
All right.
But in those conversations, you often hear things that might make you want to put people on the warm list,
Oh, you're
or
right.
that you think they're going to be pretty close to being on a hot list pretty soon. You can listen to those cues and you get really good about putting them kind of in their category so that you can make sure that you are treating them right and you're not going to drop the ball. Having them written down on that warm list makes sure that you're going to keep in touch with them and that they're getting the information that they need from you.
Perfect, perfect. And just, I just want to show something that Kirsten and her team built here. Going back to our screen here for a second, Jordan. So we have on our virtual office here, under the marketing section, you guys can go in and have a look. And we have the Calgary market review and the Red Deer market review. And if you're in Lethbridge or some other marketplace, you can just create your own just based off of what we have here. But I'll just show you what this looks like. And when you open it, it has it where it's the real estate review for November, has the national stats, Alberta stats.
Building your online business?
Oh, commercial.
Go to Wix.com and set up your store.
What?
That's just the
Municipal stats, and all you have to do at the end of that is pull in a few comparable properties and you're ready to rock on the end. And now you have an entire report to bring these people that looks professional, and it's pre-done for you every single month, and we send that out. So Ninja says do 2 of these, and they did their most recent stats. 36% of these appointments resulted in a transaction. And that's not necessarily because that person themselves bought a house, but because you became referable, they trusted you as the expert.
Yep.
Another one just on that number 6, just really quickly, focus on your customer service calls weekly. Touch base with everybody that you're working with every single week. Even if you don't have good news for your sellers, touch base with them. You got to be, engaging with them and working from there. So.
Perfect. Number 8, schedule 50 live contacts this week. So live, it doesn't mean that you have to be in person, but it does mean that you either have to have a face-to-face or a voice-to-voice. So that's just making sure that you are in flow with 50 different people at any given time. Obviously, if you are not talking to people, you're not adding value to people, you are going to have a shrinking database quite quickly. So this is just ensuring that that doesn't happen and that you are always top of mind for at least 50 people in a week.
Yeah, and that is you want to have, they call them 40 interviews, where you're talking about friends, occupation, recreation, dreams, and dream/future. What's your dreams? But when you talk to people, you're asking them questions, learning about them, and you're listening for change. Is this person someone that should be on my warm list?
Perfect.
Exactly.
And then number 9, review my database for property matches weekly and with my newsletter monthly.
Chloe, do you want to start talking about this one?
Not really.
Liz,
Yeah, sure.
take it away.
I can, but
Yeah, no, we, sure. So what you want to do is take a look at all the property management matches that you have set up for the people that you have working on. And just ask yourself, when you're tracking the marketplace, is there anyone in my database that this would be property would be a great fit for? And this is where it's like, when we talk about focusing on the brown or the opportunities, there is opportunities out there. I know that if someone came to us right now and said, here's this property, not right now, we're not
Somebody
moving
said,
for-
here's this lakefront property for $20. We'd be like, we'll take it.
We'll take it, but it's amazing how
Thank you.
you can
need
plant
to set some
seeds.
expectations.
That's right. You can plant seeds with people by saying,
Bad
I saw this property that is potentially a great fit for you. So think about that. The other thing is that when you do your newsletter or you're doing a mail out, now I know you guys do email newsletters, lots of you, but once a month, go through everybody in your database, and they talk about bringing them into your consciousness, but it's not that. You just ask yourself the question, does this person have a lifestyle change? Once a month, and you will be able to discover opportunities that you never saw before because you've done this process.
Awesome.
It's
That's
absolutely
great.
incredible. And I love what they say here at the bottom, and it says, how can I make someone's day? Like, how can I contact somebody and add value, and how can I make their day? And if you think about that when you're about to contact somebody,
Yeah, that's really
it
nice.
becomes super easy.
We got to do that more.
Yeah.
That's
And
really nice.
and that way it takes totally the fear out of any types of phone calls. If you just ask the question, how can I make someone's day? Whether it's the real estate review and adding value, an invite to the Christmas party, the kids' Christmas
Yeah,
party that we
sure.
have, or anything else. It could just be I was thinking about you guys, and I thought you'd get some value from this, and that's it. So
I love that. I want to say one other idea for this one seasonally. So the Homeboys team, and I know so many of you do this. This is just, I saw it on Facebook, which is why I'm going to bring it up. But the Homeboys team is doing a winter clothing drive right now where they're collecting used clothing, which is easy, right? Like this doesn't cost anybody any money. And the whole team is saying, if you have anything at your house, we'll do a pop by and we'll pick it up. So honestly, I can't think of a single person that probably doesn't have like one old piece of winter clothing that they would be thrilled to get out of their house. So so for any of you as well, like what can you do to just create a really easy phone call? And I think for them to be able to have that reason to pick up the phone and do something like that ends up in a face-to-face, you're also letting somebody else feel good about the fact that they're donating something that will help somebody else. Like there's so much synergy in putting together things like that are easy to do. So kudos to them, and an idea for you guys at any time of the year for an easy reason to pick up the phone.
And they're actually creating value and giving back.
Yeah, like it's
amazing.
great, and it's not costing anybody any money, which is really nice because I know that oftentimes in certain economies, asking someone to spend money or for realtors to personally do it can be a little bit tough. But what a creative way to say this doesn't cost anybody $1, but we're still checking off all these boxes, which is cool.
I just want to loop around here and loop back and summarize. Ninja says that if you were to look at vital behaviors and key things that really, really matter, there's 2 of them on this list. Number 1, your two real estate reviews per week. There's some realtors that say, I'm going to do 4 per week, and that's totally fine. We have some information more about real estate reviews. If you guys want to know how to do real estate review, we got videos up on it as well. Just ask any one of us. We can point you towards the resource. So the 2 real estate reviews per week. And number 2 is 10 per day, 5 days a week. Have the 50 live face-to-face or voice-to-voice interviews where you're talking to people. This could be at an open house. This could be at an event that you're at. This could be any one of your interactions that you have with people, but you're just asking questions. You're being curious. You're offering something of value. We have tons of stuff at CIR between Happy Home Contest and everything else you could be doing, and it is so impactful, the results that people have from this. And we're talking, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year in income just from doing these activities consistently. And if your model is that you want to get internet leads, well, I'm going to tell you that you need to be following up these people, consistently, and that's that. So
That's great.
Ninja 9.
If anybody would like a copy of this,
All right.
We'll send it out.
yeah.
That is the overview. Let's stop the share real quick. Oh. So that's the overview of the Ninja 9. Let's kind of just review them again one more time. So back. Okay. Success habit number 1 daily is start with gratitudes. So right when you wake up, first thing you wake up, write down like 2 things. And it could be anything. Just like he said, you're thankful for your yard. Oh my goodness. I don't, the flowers in your yard. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. It's just the whole idea is to get into habit that no matter what, guaranteed, you can find at least 2 positive things that you can just have gratitude for. And you can write it down. You can make a note, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. You can do it that way. Okay. Number 2 is to show up. Don't open your email first. Stay on your agenda. How many people have that habit right now? You wake up, you go straight to your phone. Yeah, a lot of people do. It's like and the next thing you know, you look up and it's like 30, 40 minutes later and you're like, where did my time go? We just kind of get in this habit, and these smart devices, I don't know if you want to call them smart, but they suck your time. I mean, literally everything about them, all the algorithms, everything, every app in here is made to get our attention. If you start out your day and just don't jump to it yet, right? You're gonna have a different day. I guarantee it. And you're gonna be ready faster. You're gonna just be ready for the day. Number 3 is write 2 personal
What
notes.
does FOMO mean?
Oh yeah, sorry, FOMO. Hold on, I skipped the other 2. We'll go back to those in a sec. But FOMO is fear of missing out. That's part of the thing inside of us that makes us go to the phone, that makes us get off track. We're like, oh no, I'm gonna miss out on something. I gotta get you know, your clients have this too. FOMO is a real thing. Oh yeah, the three on the top, the three success keys is your mindset, your skill set, and your actions. And the one thing, what is the one thing I can do that will most help me stay on the ninja path is to focus on who you know. All right, so writing the 2 daily notes, or any note, any personal notes. I'm gonna see if Alec and those guys still have a bunch of those note cards, because we had someone bring in, honestly, like 2 giant cases full of old blank note cards from the Buffini stuff. And I don't know if they used them all, and they kind of they got a lot of them. I'm gonna see if like some people can, like, if they can give up
I
more.
mean,
They're cheap.
$3-4 for
Yeah.
packs of 10,
Yeah.
12 at Target. You get
Exactly.
really cute ones.
They're
with
very, yeah, you
flowers
can
and
get,
bicycles.
some people even get custom ones and stuff. Again, always try to go the free route before you're spending money. But realistically, anybody you can think of, it could be a past lender. Hey, I just wanted to send you just a quick thank you, and you know, for that last deal, you worked really hard. I really appreciate you. It could be to your, huh?
Your grandma.
Your grandma. It could be to any, the whole point is to anybody. You're writing these and you're sending them out. And guaranteed, when people receive mail, it's handwritten and stuff. You do the same thing when you ever get mail. You're like, what is this?
I
Like,
know.
oh, is there a
I'm
gift
always
card in here? What
so
is
excited
it?
for the mail to come
Right?
every day, and I'm like, I don't know why, it's bills. But yeah, when I do get a letter.
I know, it's because it's different and it takes intention. It takes somebody's intent to write and to do it, like, and it's different. We all get the automated. Have you guys all heard the computers now? You can hire and you'll pay for it and they'll do your handwriting looking. Everybody knows those are fake. You can see it. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Number 4 is to focus on your hot list. So these are people who want to buy and sell right now. Or they know they want to buy and sell. They want to buy and sell with you, or they want to buy and sell soon, within like 90 days. That is somebody that's on a hot list. And engaged, that's like an A. That's how you would categorize them, as an A, that it's very, you know, hot. Next would be to daily focus on your warm list. These are people who want to buy and sell, or they may not know they want to buy and sell, or you know they want to buy and sell, or they want to buy and sell in the next year. So these are kind of like people who are like, yeah, they would, yeah, they're looking for change.
So since this is a daily of focusing on your hot and your warm list,
Yeah,
I mean, you don't want to call your warm list daily. What am I?
no, oh, no.
What-
We'll
how am
see.
I- What's the focus? What's the focus activity?
You gotta engage weekly to the hot A's, and especially someone like under contract, like he said, under contract, in business, or you're actively already searching. You should be communicating
So
every
I'm just
week.
Thinking like there's at least 7 people on your warm list, and you're like,
Mhm.
it's like. a
Yeah,
weekly
more
thing
than
where
likely, you're gonna have heavier warm lists
you're not-
than the.
You're not
other.
hitting everyone on the warm list daily. You're just going through the warm list daily.
You're going through it daily. Yep, that's the whole point, is to make sure nobody falls through the gaps. I hear this all the time with our brokers, like, I got a lead, someone gave me someone, and oh yeah, I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I followed up once, and yeah, then I forgot. It's a thing to kind of go through, like, these people are on the list, like, go one by one. Okay, when's the last time I talked to this person? When's the last time I sent them anything? When's the last engagement activity? You know, or when's the last time I talked to their lender, or who's connected to that person that you need to stay in touch with? The whole point is they're on top of mind. Number 6 is focus on the customer service calls, right? So active customers are your best source of referrals, always. Your next transaction is embedded in this transaction. It's a good way to say, so anybody who has a listing, right now, your other listing, your next listing is around that listing. You have the best chance possible to actually get more business as soon as you get business. It's just how it works. Sometimes, has anyone ever been to, like, you remember back in the day, jumping off a high dive or something and going in a pool? The first person who's like everybody kind of has the fear and they're like, oh, no, I'm not going. You go. No, you go ahead, man. That's high, or it looks way too cold. Forget it. I'm not doing, one person who first jumps, what happens?
Then everybody goes.
Then other people start jumping. I don't know what it is. I think it's a thing of, it could be part of FOMO. People are like, the fear of missing out. Oh, the neighbors constantly talked about moving to Arizona. They constantly said, that, oh, we're thinking of selling. Oh, they actually did it. They did it. The neighbors start talking like, oh my gosh, do you think they're going to get that much for their house? Man, our house is even bigger. Ours is even more remodeled. We could get more than that. Oh, I hope it sells for that. These are the types of conversations and the stuff that goes on that you guys don't even hear. But if you activate those people and go engage, you have a much higher possibility of getting that additional business. This is why Lennox created the whole early entry for neighbors. What's the body language when neighbors come into an open house if they weren't invited? What do?
They're like kind of trying to hide. Like,
Yeah, they come in and they shrink themselves. Oh, I'm just a neighbor. Hi. Oh, they're doing that because they feel like they're not supposed to be there. So this is a whole different psychology on how you engage with the people that are around that listing. That's why if you go do the early entry, knock. I mean, there's some people out here that are doing, 50 doors around that listing. And it's because they do the every neighborhood postcard campaigns too, to where the new listing comes on and it hits those 50 or 55 neighbors. They're going around and knocking those too. Some people are like, oh, I got your postcard. It's kind of like that soft touch where it's not just a cold knock. At least you can even say, oh, did you get my postcard? I wanted to make sure you're invited to the early entry for just neighbors only. It's totally different. Totally different. Things like that you must do. And if you can't do the open house, then let somebody else new or someone else who doesn't have an open house to run to still do it, because it also activates the backlog of buyers for your sale. So it's kind of the thing, like, you have to do this. It's part of your job. And if you're missing out on that, it's not good. All the time around here, we hear this. Seriously, like in the past 2 weeks, all these people I kept talking to about, oh, you got a new listing come on? Where did the lead come from? I'm asking every single time. I want to know. I'm not even kidding. This is the highest amount I think I've ever heard people tell me, oh, it's from one of the neighbors from my old listing. Yep, I activated one of them even from last year. Yep, I just stayed in contact every month. I gave them the housing updates. Every month I would call, I would reach out. How's it going? Do you need any, professional service providers? Do you need plumbers, roofers, contract, any of those types of things? And they just, you immediately establish yourself as the expert when you're constantly like engaging, giving, and just showing up. A lot of it is just showing up, but that is key. Number 7, schedule 2 real estate reviews, not a disguised listing presentation. Okay. As part of my service to you, I offer the opportunity to sit down once a year and review your real estate holdings. I prepared a packet of information for you. When would you like to get together? There's your script for every one of your past clients you've ever sold a home for on their anniversary date. You can time it, call them. You can build a packet and go, even drop it off to get face-to-face. There's a few people in here who started this exact program. 2 of their listings that they're listing in July came from this. In fact, They even got a referral from it because they made such a nice presentation that they showed a friend and they're like, where did you get this? And it's the Unibind. They even put it in the Unibind, the full cloud CMA, everything, right? And they're like, where did you get this? And their friend was over for coffee or something. And you're like, oh yeah, our realtor put this together for our review every year. They're like, we haven't heard from our realtor in like 6 years. And she's like, you know what? Is it okay if I call them? They're like, is that okay? And they're like, no, that's my realtor. You can't have them or something. They're like teasing them, but they got their info. They got a referral because they made such a relevant piece of information that they provide. It just sets you guys at such a higher level than your competition. It's not even funny.
For Cloud CMA, is there a way to set it up where it's a home equity report instead
You
of?
can rename that. Yes,
you
you
can.
can actually call it the home equity report, or even, I've seen even people go 2024 home equity report,
Okay,
whatever the year is, and they make it.
I might have you show them how to do that.
Yeah, it's very easy. All right, your next transaction is embedded, yeah. Client communications preference, always ask, what phone, email, text, Facebook. That one's still kind of funny. The telephone is the most amazing and productive electronic device ever invented. So true. So true. And for those of you that have been just sitting back and letting the technology, you think the technology is making making it work, right, for the business? It doesn't. I 100% agree with about being in flow, about the live flow, face to face or voice to voice. That is it. That is the key thing you have got to do in this business. If you're not doing it, you're not going to get the business, period. All right. Let's see. If they don't want to meet, mail it. Yeah, just having the communication, you can mail it. 3 magic questions. What are your long-term plans for this house? Or with perhaps the lowest interest rates in your lifetime, are you living in the home you want to be in? Well, we will not know when that happens again. If you could live anywhere, where would that be? Where's your dream home? So these are different questions you can ask. These are great, great scripts to ask people. Real estate reviews results in face-to-face. What percent referral or a transaction, or mail percentage referral on a transaction? Obviously, it's 80-20 rule, right? It's no matter what, you're going to be getting more from going face to face or voice to voice, always. And success habit number 8 is weekly. So live interviews, ask forward, right? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, questions, and listen for
Or they call them
change.
interviews.
It's just conversations. Yeah. Ninja and Facebook, amazing resource database, pain and pleasures, listen for those. Oh my God, my
Maybe to
commute
remind us
sucks.
to- Just saying the interviews maybe to remind us to ask questions and
Yeah.
listen more than we talk.
100%. Yeah, if you're like just talking the whole time, you're not going to learn about them and what's going on in their lives, which again, they're the most important thing. But listen for pain and pleasures, pull more than push, right? Respond offline and be differentiated. So just be different, like listen more. Definitely. Success habit number 9 is update your database and look for property matches. So what's the difference between a database and a CRM, customer relationship manager system? What's the difference? Database is just a thing with people in it. A CRM is actually customer relationship management. You're managing the relationship. It's not just a thing to put somebody's name and phone number in. It's way more important. And then you can constantly qualify your database, an A, a B, a C, a D, hot list and warm list. Hey, focus on productive activities and production takes care of itself. Stop actually thinking about winning and losing, and instead focus on those daily activities that cause success. That comes from Nick Saban. and then persist. If you work the system will work for you. And of course, you got to track your progress. For those of you that you just work like, oh yeah, this is the week. I'm going to kick butt. Going in the office Monday, I'm going to start making calls. You sit down, you start making calls. You're like, hey, this is cool. This is working. Then all of a sudden you get in later the day. Oh, it's lunchtime. Then the next day you kind of do the same thing. And then you think back and you're like, well, what did I do yesterday? If you are keeping track of what you do, you will be able to see exactly what you did to get the business. And all that's going to do is reinforce your good habits. I would say, don't make check marks. We have so many different trackers you guys can use. We have the core, where that's obviously more militant and more like, it's long, it's a legal sheet of piece of paper, not a little short, letter size. But I don't care what tracker you use, as long as it does two things. One, it makes you commit to what you're going to do each day, and it lets you write down names of the people. Be sure to put the names of people. People are not a check mark. Leads. What are leads? People. It's people. That's who you're dealing with. So just make sure you're keeping track of who you talk to, right? We will send out different lead trackers. You guys can use them. I even have the Ninja one, and it is a little more basic and broken down. Whatever one you use, you just got to use it every single day. And I would say put it in a binder. If you pay for the core coaching, which is thousands of dollars a month, if you do that, they force you get a legal size binder and a hole puncher, and you have those pages filled. You're writing the date range, what day it is, and you got to keep track. And you're talking 75 phone calls a day you have to make. Each box you miss, you're paying money. So they will force you to do, you got to do exactly what they say. And then you got to track that progress, any lead. So last but not least, I want to go over some things I want you to hear this. If you're on your phone or whatever, put everything down, put it away. No matter what market we are in, I don't care what interest rates are. I don't care what inventory is. I don't care if foreclosures, crashing of the market. There are three essential things to life, right? What do they say? Food, clothing, shelter. You guys are in business of the three most important things in life. You have shelter, right? No matter what, it is needed. You are always going to be needed if you act professional and you constantly engage with people. But no matter what, there used to be 7 Ds. I just added the other D, because you're right. There's 8 Ds that no matter what, if you find people who are connected in these types of situations, you will always have business regardless of market. Number 1 is diamonds. People getting married, that is life change, right? This is major life change events. Diamonds, people get married. Who do you know who's connected with when it comes to diamonds? Jewelers? Yeah, dead serious. Jewelers? Huh? Costco? Priests? Churches? Wedding planners? Wedding photographers? You can go on and on and on and think of all of the types of people who deal with this. You need connections for each one of these Ds. So you need to find people who are professionals or are connected for each of these types of Ds, okay? These life changes. So diamonds, 2, death. 2 things in life guaranteed, death and taxes, right? No one's getting out of it. Nobody. Who's connected in death? You need probate attorneys. What about Before you die, does anybody have a will? Estate attorneys. These, you gotta think of everybody who could be involved in that. And you need to know these people. They need to be in your sphere. Divorce. Next D, is divorce, number 3. There's a lot of divorce attorneys. There's some that only specialize helping women, some only help men, some help, you know, same-sex marriage. There's tons of specialty niches and all of these types of major life changes. You need, like, find these people. You need to have them in your database. Diapers, number 4. When people have, you know, children, they're like, we gotta get out of this 1-bedroom apartment. It's not gonna work. We can't have a baby in the kitchen, okay? Is it like, we gotta move. We gotta get a house. Let's buy a house finally. So anybody who could help with the doulas, right? Anybody?
Apartment manager.
A what?
Apartment.
Ooh, apartment managers. There you go. They could be connected to life for sure, life change. Have some apartment manager connected. Send referrals.
Majority of my business with apartment managers.
That's awesome. Okay, number 5, diplomas. Right? Life change happens when people graduate college. How about financial advisors? There's some of them, like, sometimes people get, you know, there's really smart people out there and they're like, you know, I'm gonna have a financial advisor like right from college out, and like, I mean, that happens. They get a new job right away. Right? Diplomas kind of falls along with the new job. Who has a hiring person? Anybody know any hiring, like recruiters? And I mean, think about all the people who are connected in that. Same thing. Number 6 is displacement, or AKA relo. You get a job, move. Oh, you gotta move. Relocation companies, there are some really small ones out there that don't work with the large corporations. You might be able to get connected and become that main person for the state. It's all about communicating, making phone calls, right? Making connections. Use LinkedIn. Use LinkedIn to find a lot of these professionals. Hey, you know, like, hey, are you willing to, you know, are you taking on new clients? I'm looking for someone I can refer my sphere to. You know, please reach out. Or you guys can just do this constantly. If you're like, oh, I got nobody to call right now, nobody in my database, you should be doing this activity. Just concentrating on that. If you know that these are the 8 life change major events that are gonna happen, that makes people move and buy and sell real estate, regardless of the market, you should be concentrating in this. Number 7, default. Mortgage defaults happen. Just talked to a broker in here that they got a client that just reached out to them and said, hey, we've been really embarrassed to tell you, but, you know, husband lost their job, there's cancer in the family, they haven't been making money, they haven't been making their payments in 14 months, and now they're getting postings on their front door. They need help. They have a ton of equity. But they're like, we don't know what to do. Like, they need help. Like, if you can be ahead of the game to help people, you know, you have a better odds at helping them, you know, like early on rather than being too late. Because one of them, we had one early this year, we had a broker took a listing and yeah, they had a sale date in like 20 days. What are you going to do? Like, you've got to get that extended, and they got it extended once, but then the seller wasn't even like reasonable about what price they wanted to list it at. Because they had in their mind, like, we need X to sell. You guys know how that goes.
And
I
then
need
you're
to
gonna
make
get
X. Yeah,
You're gonna get, oh.
yeah, you're gonna get nothing. So default is definitely who can you be connected to? At asset managers, at banks, or Northwest trustees, sales, right? Knowing these people, knowing these players. Or how about a certified negotiation expert to be able to negotiate with the bank. Short sales. I mean, those are still happening. You could look in the Northwest MLS, there's still some short sales in there. Very, very few, but they're still there. And the number 8 was newly added today. The new 8D is dog. Somebody got a pet, you're right. Like, people do move when they get a new pet and they just love their pets.
I'm missing one. Diamonds, diapers, divorce, death, diplomas.
Oh, slow down. Diamonds. Okay, I'll do them all again. Diamonds, death, divorce, diapers, diplomas, displacement, and default, dog.
And displacement, an example of that.
It's relo, like, oh, I got my job at Amazon and now they're moving me to Texas. And yeah, I got no choice.
That dog is a pretty obvious D, I'm surprised.
I know. It sure is. You even moved because of your dog,
Yeah,
right?
that's why, I mean, I bought a duplex because of my dad, but I bought a house at all because of my dog.
Hey,
Or disease.
that's falls along. Yeah, so any of those types of life changes, so don't forget. But last but not least, adding value is easy if you're thinking about the other party and not yourself. Or your focus should always be on people. As soon as you get off the path and you start just thinking about yourself and each deal and how much compensation you can make, you are off track. If you're just like, I'm gonna help, I'm helping people, I'm giving people value. The first thing that happens in your life and what changes is you become the beacon. People look to you for help, right? And the other thing, people will pick up on that right away. If you are desperate, that's not one of the D's. But if you become desperate, people sense it and it just worries them. Because when people are worried, what are they looking for?
Confidence.
Yeah, they're looking for confidence and insurance and like, it's gonna be okay.
Nothing worse than a hungry salesman.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. But remember this, business to business referral partners is such a key. You have to have a list of everyone that can help your clients. Because if you're always adding that value, like, oh, you need an electrician, you need a plumber, you need a roofer, you need a window cleaner, a remodeler, a floorer, landscaper, gutters person, painter. Think of every sewer line cleaner, septic person. You should literally go down a list, go get in a room, shut the door, turn off your phone, and write down every single type of business trade person possible that relates to a house. Just write that list out. Write all of those job types, and then your job is to find a person that you can refer everyone to for all of those. So go get your business to business partners. Guess what? You don't have one? Now you got a reason to make phone calls. You got reasons to start calling down your database. Pick up the phone. Hey, how's it going? Checking it. Hey, what's going on? Hey, got a question for you. I need a landscaper. Do you by chance, do you have anyone you know? Oh, you don't? Okay, great. Hey, if I find a really good one, would you like their contact info? Oh, okay, great. Hey, I'll call you back as soon as I find a really good referral for us. Oh, yeah, that's great. All right, man, take care. Get off the phone. Next phone call, you're fine. Oh, you do have a great landscaper? Great. Now you call the landscaper. Hey, how you doing? My name's Eric with General Scott. Amanda gave me your information. Hey, I'm looking for someone to refer all my clients to. Do you have time to meet? I know you're a busy person. I can even meet you somewhere out, near one of your jobs. I don't mind. I'd love to see your work and what you do. Is that way different? That's way different.
It's value.
Yeah. Yeah, you're adding huge value. People are gonna go, yeah, wait, you wanna send me business and you wanna come meet me in person? Now, Is every single one of these, gonna work out and be perfect? No, you might run through the gambit, it can happen, but now you got someone, you're gonna go meet them, and hey, I got a referral for you already. They're gonna go, what? You're just meeting me? You already got like people to get wow. Now you're calling back to your database after you met them. And of course, remember, and when it comes to all these specialty trades, make sure they're licensed and bonded before you're referring people. We've heard some horror stories, but you definitely should check that out. But now you can go back and say, hey, I got someone to refer you. They're fantastic. They're out of this place. You can tell about them now because you met them. And they're like, oh, this is great. You just made a connector between other people and you gave value to two people at the exact same time. All that's going to do is come back to you after time. They're going to go, oh my goodness, Shamus just gave us an incredible landscaper to, now they can fix our yard on a monthly basis or whatever it may be. You could go through every single one of these types of trade lines that you find the professional for. And now you have got a major value add for your entire clients. This is the type of thing that will get you additional business. Now you can even, there's some people that take this even a step further and they actually ask these professionals and say, hey, if you know anyone who's looking to, buy or sell real estate, let me know. I would love to be, your referral partner. You already gave them referrals. They're going to be like, yeah, they're going to get a phone call. They're like, yeah, can you come out and do our landscaping? Sure, no problem. Come out. Hey, nice. They get the job and they're like, oh, what do you guys just refreshing the whole landscape here? What are you doing? And oh no, we're going to be selling, I think, we wanted to get everything ready. Oh, do you have a broker yet? No, we don't. I have somebody fantastic that you should actually meet with. You have walking billboards you just literally are making for yourself by doing this type of activity. You can concentrate on this type of thing as part of your daily hour power, right? Your power hour. Like, if you've got no one to call yet, this is the type of thing you can even just jump right into the pool with and start doing.
LinkedIn and start doing that with LinkedIn.
Yeah, you can find these people on LinkedIn too.
Yeah.
That are connected in this. The other part, you could find some of those people, but like I said, if you want to get the best, and get the engagement at the exact same time, activate your sphere. Start calling the people you know already. Because you're engaging with them already. And what happens a lot of time when you talk to these people maybe you haven't talked to in a little while? Oh, hey, how's the market?
So you ask your sphere who a good landscaper is, or
Yeah, say, hey, got a question for you. Do you have a good landscaper? I need to find a new one. Whatever you want to say, like I need to find some for my sellers, for listings. I just haven't found a good one. Do you know anyone? And if they're like, oh no, we don't. That's when you throw in the second part of, well, hey, if I find a really good one, would you want their contact info? And you could do this for every single one of these types of trades. Oh, do you know a plumber? I need a new plumber to refer my clients to. So this is the thing you can do. In these other packets, you guys, I've got a thing for like the Ninja business plan. They tell you how to break out and do your Ninja or, your business plan. You can write it for the year. It's in depth. It's obviously going to take you a couple hours to get through it all, but it does tell you like what to do during certain months. How do you increase your database? Net worth goal worksheet. So it's a good one, right? No matter what one you ever do, like we say, just like a CRM, whatever one you use will actually work. And then the other thing is the seller process, right? Single most important factor in getting a home sold is what? Price. Or the broker you hire. Could be either. Seller decisions. You got all sorts of things you can use to also doing the pre-listing interview. There's a seller process. It's really good. This one will give you a lot of different ideas. A pre-listing interview is really good. There's a page you can fill in. I like that. It's like 18 questions.
Yeah, where do we go? Is there like an online thing where we go and fill in all these blanks?
There's PDFs. Yeah, I can give you the PDFs, but no matter what, they're not blank, they're not ready. You would have to use the tool in Adobe to click and to type it in if you wanted to use the digital. Yeah, you can even Google it. Just do Ninja selling, the seller process, and then do space .pdf, and you can download these. So it's a really good one. All right, you guys, that is it for today. A lot of stuff. Hopefully it gave you some different ideas. Ninja is
Hey, Eric.
it is a, yes.
Can I add a little note? There is a good Facebook group for Ninja selling. Pretty active, and a lot of people upload some samples of marketing things or ways of organizing checklists and things. And then there's also Ninja Selling Podcast. Which is really helpful too.
Yeah, Ninja Selling Podcast is on every week. They have a new show. It's really good. You'll get a lot of great tips from it. Anytime you can reinforce those good habits and thoughts of, you know, how to kind of do business differently, it can change for you. It really can. All right, guys, thank you so much for making it today. We will see you on the next one. Don't forget, Legal Lunch did get changed. It was scheduled for tomorrow, but they moved, or excuse me, it was scheduled for Thursday, but because Justin Haig, the president and CEO of Northwest MLS, is actually going to be a guest. And because they're going to have dialogue about the lawsuits and things that are going on with NAR and just what they're doing with their settlement and stuff like that, it will not be recorded. You will only be able to watch on Zoom. We will watch, people will watch from here at the same time, and the time change too. Instead of 1 to 2, it's 12 to 1. And then tomorrow we do have forms class. And I believe it's form 47 for off-market sales to identified buyers. So we're going to talk about that whole process on how that works. So anyways, thank you guys for making it, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.